starting from my head and ending in my toes, transformed fear into an emotion I couldn't yet identify. I blurted out some words, or should I say sounds. My thighs shook. Then there was this release. I felt completely at ease. This was a first for me, and by the look on his face, it was a first for him, too. In 10 years of being with Kevin, I had never had an orgasm. But after only 22 minutes, I was experiencing my very first one with the guy I was meeting for the first time. A tear rolled out from the corner of my eye. It slid backward toward my ear. I hoped Kevin didn't see it. The room was pretty dim, so maybe not. I didn't want to wipe it and bring attention to it, so I left it to evaporate. Maybe it would disguise itself as sweat. I couldn't seem to turn my head away from him, even though I wanted bad to look over at my husband, assure him I was still his, but I was paralyzed. Or maybe just my eyes were, fixated on his. Apparently, his had the same paralysis. Our gaze was unbreakable. I could only imagine how Kevin was feeling. If it were me, I'd be a disaster. I'd probably throw a temper tantrum. It would definitely be time to go. I was waiting for the tug, but an abrupt laughter broke out instead. From her. It dislocated our gaze, which I was sure was its purpose. I looked over at Kevin while the other he carefully slid out of me. Well, maybe he wasn't being careful. It felt more like reluctance. I smiled at Kevin, hoping he couldn't tell it was forced. He grinned, or maybe grimaced. It was dark. I sat up slowly, taking time to glance over at his wife. Her laugh was just tapering off. I gave her a fake smile, too. Well, an uncomfortable smile. She returned it as she patted her husband's butt. "He's great, isn't he?" These were the first words I heard after my first climax. I would always remember them. Kevin was watching me closely. I could feel his eyes. He was waiting for me to say the wrong thing. I wasn't going to answer. I was sure the question was rhetorical anyway, as if the orgasm didn't tell it all. No need to fan the flames. "You think we should exchange numbers?" he asked, pulling his black boxer briefs over his perfectly sculpted pelvis. He could have been an underwear model. He was a hell of a specimen. His honey-toned skin was so smooth it looked like it was painted onto his muscular arms and brick-like abs. He was hairless, no tattoos. His features were pronounced, dark eyebrows that appeared naturally arched, tiny light brown eyes the same color as his skin, well-defined cheekbones, a thin pointed nose, and crescent-shaped lips that had some plump to them. They gave me all sorts of ideas. "We'll see each other again," his wife said, nodding at Kevin and me. Her eyes were low, though, almost closed. She wasn't being sincere. I couldn't blame her. It was obvious her husband had never brought her to the place he had gotten me to. Kevin didn't respond. He was in the same boat as her, I guessed. I was sure he'd prefer it if this was the last time we saw each other. He looked at me. "Tori?" I played along with her. "Sure we will." "Well, that was fun," she concluded, standing up, a white towel covering only the bottom half of her nude body. She was a white woman, but tanned to perfection. Her makeup was flawless. She wore her blonde hair straight down her back. It was clear she worked out, too. That was one thing the two had in common. She was in as good a shape as he was. I must say, she looked great for an older woman. Not that she had revealed her age to us, but I was privy to knowledge that she was a cougar, a sugar mama, actually. Their relationship appeared more like mother-son than husband-wife. She grabbed his hand, and before the goodbye that was sitting on his lips could jump off, she squeezed it. I didn't see her do it, but I caught his reaction, and he didn't say goodbye. Thinking back, that is another thing I regret about that night. Maybe had he said those words, it would have been the end of it. Maybe it would have been the last time we saw each other. Kevin gathered our towels, handing me mine. I used the tip to wipe away.